Charlie, thank you for joining us for this Academy half-season review interview. We'll start with the first huge achievement for the Academy this season, Travis Hearns. How important was his rise through from the Academy? What has that done for you?
Yeah, I think firstly it's a great time to reflect. Obviously going into the Christmas period, the Academy gets a little bit of time to rest. So it's a good time to reflect. I think definitely Travis is a key highlight of this season so far. Obviously, when the new board was announced and Mickey was in, and then obviously with that, the new first team staff with the new gaffer and Marcus, they took a liking to him straight away. I think all the credit has to go to Travis himself as well. I think that he took his opportunity, and I think it was a rapid rise, as you mentioned there. He spent the pre-season with them. Again, I think that just highlights what we've tried to do this season in terms of enhancing the pathway. But I think it's been a great moment for Travis, and also should pose of real inspiration for the rest of the not just the academy but also the scholars, that the pathway is there. If you look at him now, he's doing excellently at Newcastle. He's obviously scored against AC Milan the other night. So great moment for him, really proud moment for his family, but also a real proud moment for the academy and for the club as well.
You mentioned about the pathway there. You've got plenty more of the scholars who are still in and around the first team as we speak. Talk us about how good that is, because it's just another example of players making their way through, even at such a young age.
Yeah, definitely. I think the work that's been done previous as well, obviously David and Gary and all the other coaches that have been involved as well, really left us in a good place come the start of the season. And I think what's happened since then is that the good work has continued to flourish. Obviously, we've got some new staff in, but also the connection at the moment with the first team is excellent. They've given opportunities to Harvey Watts as well, who's had his debut in the league, but also in the Carabao Cup. You've also seen Jude playing against Walsall at home, and obviously Jack Loughran, who's only 16, managed to get debut against Walsall, but also minutes in the FA Cup, which again is so special for him and his family. Credit goes to those players for how hard they've worked, but also again just emphasises what we're trying to do with that pathway.
What about the rest of the under-18 season so far?
Yeah, so I think it's been a turbulent time for them, to be honest, because come the start of the season, there's a lot of staff changes. And I think that's been an element that they've had to deal with. What I think in the long run will be really good for their development. Obviously, we know in professional football things can change quickly. And I think that they've managed to get a little bit of a taste for that. Sean's come in, and I think that he's done some excellent work with the culture with those. There's been some real good off-field development, and we're starting to see the players really develop from that. So if you look at some of the first years now, they've been able to have experiences with the first team. I think notably the connection, as I mentioned before, with the first team has been excellent. We've been regularly training up there. They regularly have us up there for an 11v11 on Thursday, which again gives them great opportunities to make an imprint and to make an impression on the first team staff. In terms of their competitions, we don't tend to regularly look at results and watch for league positions or cup draws. I think that it's been really pleasing to see some of the performances and some of the development. Often we've had players in matchday squads, first team matchday squads that is, but also we've had under-16s regularly feature for the under-18s, which has been really pleasing.
Any other kind of notable moments for the kind of under-9s to under-16s bracket, other than, say, 16s in with the 18s already? Obviously, there's Simba and Wanzu as well to talk about here.
Definitely, and I think that's, again, one of the huge highlights already for the season. And when we get to reflect, when we get to see some of the small successes, Simba's now become the youngest ever player to represent Shrewsbury Town at first team level. So he was obviously 16 on the day. Really proud moment for him, proud moment for his parents, but also a proud moment for everyone that's worked with him previously. I think that there's been some real good work done with Simba, but also he's taken the mantle himself. And again, he's done excellently so far this season. Not just when he's had his chance up there, but also he's scoring goals and assisting with the 18s regularly starting or appearing for the 18s. So he's done very well there. I think in addition to that, and definitely something that we need to highlight, is that we've handed out 11 scholarships, and that's all within our own under-16s. I think that showcases what the club are looking for. I think that giving local young talent an opportunity, and I think that that's a real key part of what we're trying to do. A brilliant opportunity for those boys, but they've definitely worked for it. We've got players in there who have featured from under 8s, from under 11s, from under 13s, and to give such a big number opportunities to go through, I think is one credit to the players, but also showcases what the academy, what the club are all about. So I think that that's a real pleasing sign to see. 11
players who are going to be in the scholarship program next season have been offered scholarships for next season, say come through the 8s, the 9s, the 11s, 13s. How much of a testament is that also to the staff at the academy as well, both past and then also present for this season so far?
100%. As I mentioned before, obviously, David come in 4 years ago and done a great deal with them. I think that age group is the first age group to show, to bear the fruits, as they say, of that. Gary doing some excellent work and getting them in, but then obviously we've also had coaches working with them like Liam, like Dan Rees of recent, of Gaz Richards, also Ben Sawyer, some of these part-time members of staff, but then also Dave Riley. There's so many different coaches who've worked with them, but also off-field staff, whether it comes to S&C analysis or player care with Nat. So I think the staff have done a really good job with that group as well.
What about the academy audit that you've had so far this season as well?
Yeah, and again, retained the Category 3 licence for another 3 years. I think that, again, the staff have done very well during that time because, as we mentioned, there was a little bit of turbulence at the start of the season. It's started to settle now, but I think all of the staff, as well, new staff coming in. So Dan Rees been promoted to head of coaching, again, done a great job. Him alongside Liam did a great job of that, and continue to evolve our coaching programme. Vashini coming in, she's done an excellent job in the medical department, and really highlighted some of the key areas that we look to develop, which definitely paid dividends in the audit. But Dave, in terms of his education work, was excellent, and from that has now added the analysis department to his regime. And again, I think he's looked to really develop that side of things. So I think it's been a real positive start to the season and give us a platform to push on from.
So looking forward, second half of the 2023-24 season, what are the aims, the targets for the academy?
I think the big ones is to continue some of the good work that's already been that's already happened. I think some of the stuff that the two lead phases have done with the 9s to 16s, Ben and Gareth, has been really good. I think that we can now look to evolve that, continue getting players through. We've obviously done our scholarship decisions now, but now it's looking at what can we do for the future ones, so the 15s, the 14s, the 13s, and then continue to evolve our coaching programme. The 18s, we're going to continue to look to develop those. Obviously, they've got decisions coming towards the end of the season. And then it's looking at the MDT side of things. How can we further develop our S&C programme, our analysis programme, our psychological programme, all the parts that take care of the medical side of things? Can we add a bit more to the nutrition part of things? So there's lots of things that we're going to be looking at, and we've done some really good reflecting pieces. But I think so far it's been pleasing, and again we need to look to push on now.
Brilliant. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.